Hello, Holy Cross community, and welcome to our episode of Home Ec, where Margot and I are going to cook together today to make, what are we making?
We are making apple fritters.
Yeah, apple pie spiced fritters. I mean, who doesn't like a little apple pie in their life? And I'm making them gluten-free because I want to eat them. And we actually made them this weekend, and they're amazing. They're a big hit at our Halloween drive-by get-together. Everybody had to do a little something different this year, and we made it fun. So, before we get started, I'm just going to tell you how to make a quick apple pie spice blend if you couldn't find some or didn't want to buy it. So, we made our own. Margie, you want to show that? So it has 4 tablespoons of ground cinnamon, 1.5 teaspoons of ground nutmeg, a half a teaspoon of ground allspice, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, and 1.5 teaspoons of ground cardamom. So that way you can make your own apple pie spice. And actually, I made mine a couple weeks ago, and we've been using it for different things. I even put it on yogurt. I think I put them in cookies. And so there's lots of uses. Trust me, during the fall, this won't go to waste. So we have most of our ingredients mise en place. That means it's ready for us to use. Some of it's measured out. So Margot's going to go ahead and combine the half a cup of white sugar.
So we're going to use a half a cup of white sugar, and we're just going to plop it in here and sort of spread it around. And then we are going to put in a tablespoon or
I think it's a teaspoon.
A teaspoon of our homemade.
Actually, put in just a half a teaspoon.
So we're going to put in a half teaspoon.
And I'm over here in the background measuring the temperature of our oil. I started heating it up about 10 minutes ago, and we wanted to get to 350. We wanted to get to 350 for frying our fritters. So we're not there yet. We're about 280.
So we're going to put a half a teaspoon of our homemade
apple pie spice.
And then we're going to use a spoon.
So what are we making right now?
Oh, right now we're making the coating after the dumplings are not dumplings. Why did I just call that dumplings?
Fritters.
The fritters.
They're definitely like dumplings. Yes.
After the fritters or donuts come out, you can always coat them. And you want to mix this up so there's an even amount. And make sure there's really no clumps in it because you want to.
So that's going to be your sugar coating for your fritter.
Coating, and it'll taste amazing. It's much better if you have a lot of coating on there. But we'll show you that once we're done. And once you put this on, you want to make sure it's hot when your fritter's hot when you put it on, or else it won't stick.
You want it hot, so it just came out of the oil, right? Yeah. So it sticks to it. All right, I think that's pretty good.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna put that aside near.
Margot.
Thank you. We're gonna put that aside right near where the fritters will come off the stove, and near a cooling rack. I have a cooling rack on top of a cookie sheet with some parchment between, just to where I'll let the fritters cool down before I devour all of them. So Margot, next you're gonna make the batter. We'll put our dry ingredients first.
Okay.
So we're using gluten-free flour. So we're gonna do a cup. Where did I put the cup here?
So we're gonna do a cup of flour.
A cup and a quarter. So one of each of those. You have a cup and a quarter.
We're doing gluten-free, so you're going to use this gluten-free flour. Or if you don't want to make yours gluten-free, just make...
You can use regular all-purpose flour.
All-purpose flour. And really, the gluten-free, I've tried these before, and the gluten-free ones, I feel like they taste the same as a normal fritter.
Exactly. There's no difference, I don't think.
Yeah, because you've been gluten-free for
I have been for a
since
while.
I was born.
I'm looking for our vanilla extract.
Okay, so I put our cup and our quarter in for the gluten-free flour. So now we're done with the flour, so we're going to put that somewhere.
Okay. And now you're going to add the 2 tablespoons of brown sugar right there next to you.
So we already measured that out. This is 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Brown sugar is very hard, I've noticed.
It likes to clump. It has moisture.
Boom.
Then you're going to put another half teaspoon of your apple pie spice. Okay, so we're I'm just going to check if we have more vanilla.
Got it.
So put that in, and then after that, baking powder, a teaspoon and a half.
Okay.
Tell them what you're doing.
So we're going to be doing a teaspoon and a half of baking powder, and Mom's just trying to see if we have more vanilla extract. So we're just gonna, and then we're going to use a half a teaspoon.
I'm going to check the oil temperature again. We'll show you our setup over here in a second.
So over there, I don't think we told them this, but she's cooking the oil, and the temperature that we're trying to get it is like 350.
Yep. So we're a little over 300 right now.
So I just put in the 1 teaspoon and the half a teaspoon.
A teaspoon and a half of baking powder. Now you want a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt.
So 1/4 teaspoon is very small.
Small.
1/4 teaspoon. We usually, whenever we do 1/4 teaspoons, we just use our little.
Yeah, well, I usually just guesstimate it, but today we'll measure it.
Because we want to make it amazing.
And you can mix those together. So those are our dry ingredients.
Colorful whisk. And since it has that brown sugar in it, you sort of want to mash that first. And then you can mix it in. And make sure you mix everything in good.
Yeah, get all those dry ingredients. And now we're going to use the same bowl. You can use a whisk to mix the dry ingredients, but then once we add the wet ingredients, I want you to start using a spatula.
Yeah.
Okay. So Margot's going to add, what are you going to add?
So we're going to add 1 egg, but I think I'm going to do that in this.
You can do it in there. Sometimes it's better to break it into another bowl first to make sure you don't get any shells, because that way you're not fishing shells out of your batter or your dough. You did a good job.
It almost overflowed.
I'll take it for you.
Here you go. Thank you.
1 egg, and then...
Put that in here.
Yep.
So we're going to put 1 egg. Try and make it a big egg.
You have your...
And then we're going to do half a cup of
apple cider.
Okay, let's pour that in.
And then we need a teaspoon of vanilla, but I'm not sure we're going to have a teaspoon. Maybe we have about a half left.
But that's okay.
That's okay. It's a little bit of vanilla flavor. And Margot, you're going to mix that together.
And use a spatula, not a whisk, because the whisk everything will stick to the whisk. And it's going to be very hard to get out.
While Margot does that, I'm going to peel. It's okay, guys. There's noise going on. That's right. I'm going to peel 1 apple, and you can use, I think a Granny Smith would probably be the best, but right now we have these delicious Honey Crisps. I'm going to go ahead and peel it. I always like to do a competition with myself to see if I can peel it in 1 strip. I once worked at a well-known patisserie in New York, and actually didn't work. I just interned there. So for my first couple days, all they had me do was peel apples, which I'm pretty sure they had a machine to do, but that's what you do when you start at the bottom. Okay, so we are going to...
So I'm sort of folding this to get all the, so like this. Pretty sure you know what folding is. So you're going to do it like that.
Can you scooch over a little bit so
yes.
I can... Okay, so I'm going to grate half this apple.
So, and if you're having difficulty getting all that gunk off there, just use a knife.
Until I get to the core here.
And try and get all the flour and all the egg and all things you can in there. So this
is going to add some moisture, because right now you feel like your dough is pretty tough, right? Pretty tough.
So that will add some moisture in. So
I'm going to
put that in.
You're going to grate about a half of your apple, and the rest of it I'm going to cut into little cubes.
So you see all that grated apple in there.
And the rest of it,
going to fold it.
Yep. And the rest of it I'm going to...
It'll become way more,
it'll have a lot more moisture.
Liquidy and moistury. But you need to mix it so it's not too liquidy.
So just like, 1/4 inch little pieces of your apple. Watch out, I have a knife right here. Okay. Because you want that little burst of real apple when you bite into your fritters. Probably a nice warm fritter.
They were a little big last time.
I don't know, I liked having that nice burst of flavor.
Okay,
All right, I'm gonna add these in, okay, hon?
Now she's gonna add those in.
So that's the rest of your apple cubed up.
I'm gonna have one.
And that's all of our ingredients, okay? So Margaret's gonna get that all mixed up as quickly as possible so that we can show them our oil.
Okay. So now mix that up. Make sure you fold over, or you can do it like this. But I think the folding way is way better for the fritters because you have all those apple chunks in there.
Ooh, we're at a good temperature here.
Okay.
So when you can bring it over.
So you want to make sure that you have the apples not in chunks and you want them spread out. So like when you bite into your fritters, you have a nice yummy chunk of apple.
That is perfect, Margaret.
There.
All right, let's get over and show them the...
So there you go.
All right, I'm going to clean this off because I'm going to use some spoons to put the batter in. Margaret, do you want to bring the computer over? Make sure we keep it recording.
There's a lot of action in the kitchen today.
Yeah, well, it's a day off here. Okay, so we have our batter right here, and we have our oil. Now, Margaret, if you can get over there, I have 1.5 inches of oil, canola oil. I actually put in some peanut oil, too, because I didn't have enough canola. And I've been heating it now. It's probably been heating for about 15 minutes at a medium heat. And I've been monitoring it to see we want to get to 350. So we're getting a little over, which is I'm not worried about that. And now is when we start to put in.
This is an adult.
This is an adult thing because you don't want it to spatter up at you. You want to take about 2 tablespoons of the batter, and then you want to get close to the surface and just push it in with the other spoon. There should be no fingers near the oil.
Just
Nothing like that.
Okay, so
just
now
spoons. You'll show me once I get. I'm gonna put 4 of them in. You don't want to crowd them, and they are gonna expand because we have what baking powder in there. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do 4. Once I've got them in there, I'm gonna set the timer for 4 minutes, and I'm gonna turn them once during that time. You can see how they're bubbling. They're gonna get nice and golden brown. So 4 minutes is the magic number, and about 2 minutes in, I'm gonna flip them over, and then I'll show you when they're done. So we're at about 2 minutes, and I just flipped them over, so you can see how nice and golden brown they are on the first side. And now I'm going to let them go for another 2 minutes or a little bit more, and then we will take them off.
Okay. So
we are coming up on the 4-minute mark. We've got some nice golden brown fritters right here. And I'm going to use this basket utensil tool to take them out because that way I won't take any oil with me. And I'm going to take them right over. Margaret's going to show you.
And the timer just went off.
Oh my gosh, we're so on top of it. Where's the sugar?
The sugar's over there.
Oh, why did it move over there when I had it over here? Okay, so now we're going to take, I think I can do 2 at a time. And we're going to take them over here. And remember, they're very hot because they just came out of hot oil. And you're going to coat them in the sugar. Coat them.
Coat them good.
And then I'm going to pick it up. You get it over onto the cooling rack.
And you can do that with all of them until you feel like...
Yeah, finish these 4, and then Margaret and I will do a taste test for that.
Taste test. We'll have some other people doing the taste test too. We're going to cut them open to show you what they look like inside.
I'm just finishing up coating these.
Coating them.
And then, of course, you'll continue on to cook the rest of your batter, or your apple fritter batter. Just check your oil temperature once in a while to make sure you're still around 350.
Yep.
And you're not getting too hot. So, Margaret, do you want to...
Looks like one of our taste testers has arrived. LD, do you want to try the apple?
It does have apples in it, yeah.
Oh, no.
Here, my son doesn't love apples. Here, Margaret, why don't you take the first one that came off.
So we have
and you
this
want
one.
to show them. I don't want to show them my whole kitchen because it's a mess. Okay, so
we're just
there we go.
Cut that right in half.
You gonna try it, LD, or am I
Look
gonna
at
try
that
it?
goodness inside.
Oh, look at the apple pieces.
Okay,
Yum,
I'll
yum.
eat,
You
I'll
wanna
eat
try it?
like
Okay.
half of it.
It's hot.
I'll
Okay,
eat,
come over here. Try it.
I'll eat half of it, and if I don't eat it,
Let
delicious.
them see your faces, not just your hands, guys.
I'm sorry. Hello.
All right, so I'm gonna continue with the rest of them, but I hope that you make these. These are our big hit. We just started making them this past weekend, but this is like the 3rd time we made them, so we're addicted. But hope you enjoy making the apple pie fritters. Definitely share a picture of your final product so that we can all celebrate that you tried something new. All right, have a great day. Thank you.